Ngibingelele bazalwane egameni lenkosi yethu Jesu Kristu. Siqhubeka nesifundo sethu esifuna ukwenza noma besisakwenza nje establish lama waymarks. Sinoline omkhulu we-144,000. Remember ukuthi sidila nehistory kaKristu, sidila nehistory ye-144,000 le history yethu simultaneously in parallel, right? So ngenxa yespace ke this is why sihlanganisile lezi zinto, otherwise bekufanele sakhe amanye ama-lines sizihlukanise kube i-history kaKristu ngapha kube i-144,000 ngale, but ngenxa yespace sizihlanganisile uline oyi-1 sidila neline kaKristu lapha phezulu, sidila neline yethu ngezansi, right? Kanjalo-ke sithe kunama groups ayi-3 la according to Ezra chapter 8 verse 15 and 16, 17. You have the priests, the Levites, and the Nethinims. Ilama groups ayi-3 asevisa ithempeli likaNkulunkulu. Lawa ayi-2 ama-groups abantu bakwa-Israel, ama-Israelites lawa. Mokhuluma ngama-priests and Levites, abantu bakwa-Israel laba. Ama-Nethinims the abantu bezizwe sa-establish ukuthi baphumaphi according to Joshua chapter 9 masikhuluma ngama-Gibeonites. So abantu bezizwe, right? So-ke sithole lapho-ke leyo nto with their 3 groups la, and so yiwo lama groups. And uma ufika kwi-history kaKristu uzowathola lama groups kwi-history kaKristu. First uKristu uzofike akhiphe ama-disciples laba bayi-12. Igroup yokuqala leya elandela uKristu azoyitraina ifundise ukwenza umsebenzi wakhe, right? Then igroup elandelayo uzothi uKristu-ke qalani nishumayele kwa-Israel before niphume niye kwabezizwe. Siyabona? So uzokhumbula-ke mekhuluma nowesifazane wezizwe ethi angikwazi ukuthi ungathatha isinkwa sabantwana usinike izinja ezinja. Ngithi uyabona? Na-ke thiye nawo nezinja ziyayidla imvuthuluka ewe ematafuleni omaster bayo. Wathi uKristu akaze akubone ukukholwa okungaka kwa-Israel, right? So isinkwa sabantwana. So ngamanye amazwi abantu ekufanele kupreachwe kubona first ama-Jews, abantu bakwa-Israel, right? So this is why ke ngo-31 AD esiphambanweni mefa uyavuka abese bahlala nabo 40 days, mese ehamba ubatshela leyo nto ukuthi nishumayele kuqala endlini kwa-Israel before niphume niye kwabezizwe. Uyabona? Because u-31 AD, u-34 AD bengakashayi le time prophecy ya 70 weeks according to Daniel chapter 9 ekhuluma ngani? Ekhuluma ngale probation period enikezwe u-Israel ukuthi 70 weeks 490 years benikezwe i-period yokuthi mababuyisane noNkulunkulu to anoint the most holy, to make reconciliation, forgiveness of sin, lokubuyisana according to Daniel chapter 9 verse 24. And then verse 26, 27, to he shall make a covenant with many for 1 week. So start to 1 week from 27 to 34. This is 7 years, 7 years. Christ uzokwenza this covenant for 1 week. Siyabona? 7 years. Ngoba ubaptiziwe ngo-27 AD uKristu, right? And so sithini, but akazuqeda yena lo 7 years, because 31 AD 3.5 years bazombulala ahambe. This is why ke methumela abafundi ke manje ukuthi qalani first endlini kwa-Israel ukuze baqedele lo munye 3.5 years to fulfill this covenant, right? So if bakwazile ukuyakha le covenant bebezoba saved, but siyabaza bazange bakwazi ukuyakha le covenant. And then bazobulala uKristu, bazoshushisa abafundi, bazoyiphika igospel kuthiwe bathengiwe nalabo abathi bambonile ethuneni. And then 34 AD bese bekhanda uStephen ngamatshe, sealing their fate against God, ukuthi ke igospel vele sihlukene nayo manje. So siyazazi lezi zinto i-revision. So sithi ke sidila nalama histories ngalolu hlobo ke. You have the disciples, ube ne group yesibili lesikhuluma ngayo, then bese 34 AD igospel iyaphuma ke manje iya kuma Gentiles, uyabona. So you can even see this mawufunda book of Acts chapter 13 verse 42, Izenzo chapter 13 verse 42 ke sizwe ukuthi kuthiwa nje la. So kuthiwa la uPaul ke la uhamba noSilas, I believe. And when the Jews, verse 42, Izenzo chapter 13, and when the Jews were gone out of the synagogue, the Gentiles besought that these words might be preached to them the next Sabbath. Right? Atama Gentiles, ngeke ndaba siyafisa ngathi zingapreachwa next Sabbath. Sizizwe. Verse 43. Now when the congregation was broken up, many of the Jews and religious proselytes followed Paul and Barnabas, or uhamba noBarnabas, who, speaking to them, persuaded them to continue in the grace of the Lord. And the next Sabbath day came almost the whole city together to hear the word of God. But when the Jews saw the multitudes, they were filled with envy and spake against them, against those things which were spoken by Paul, contradicting and blaspheming. So ama-Jews mase kufika isabatha elizayo, sabebona kugcwele abantu bayinqwaba manje, ama-Jews aqala abanomona, aqala aziphika lezi zinto ezishiwo uPaul. Eziphi lezi zinto ezishiwo uPaul? Because uPaul ukhuluma ngokuthi gospel is for the Jews, but also and the Gentiles, nabezizwe, iyona ke lento ayiphikayo ama-Jews. Verse 46, then Paul and Barnabas waxed bold and said, it was necessary that the word of God should first have been spoken to you, but seeing you put it from you and judge yourself unworthy of everlasting life, lo, we turn to the Gentiles. Simanje lapho uthi uPaul bekufanele le gospel vele ngabe ishunyelwa kunina, but nina ngoba niyayiphika ne-rejecta, bheka ke manje sesiyaphuma siya kuma Gentiles. Lento kayisho lapha 34 AD iyaphuma igospel iya kuma Gentiles, right. Now ama groups ay 3. So sisafuna uqhubeka ke naleya nto besiyenza ke, trying to populate these lines. Remember besikhuluma ngani? Besikhuluma ngokuthi each and every dispensation khona these two waymarks in between. Lama waymarks ay 2 amancane. So yiwo ke lawa ya. Yiwo lawa ya. So sizophinde siqhubeke naleya concept futhi namanje. So these two waymarks amaka le increase of knowledge esikhuluma ngayo, because from 1989 khona leya increase of knowledge. So these are the waymarks amaka this increase of knowledge. So if ubheka ke increase of knowledge, uline uyahamba ubheka phezulu, or knowledge iyakhula, yabona. Again, so ke sizothi ke sifuna ukudila ke manje ne history yaba priest. So history yaba priest iyafana ne history yama disciples. 4 BC 1989, no problem. So 4 BC 1989 iyafana ne leya uline omkhulu mayiqala la eqaleni. And then bese siba nale waymark encane, right? Amancane. Again now futhi sithi ayafana ke njengoba wabona 91, 96. Then alright, sithi kulungisa ke la because sidila nale ma histories I2. So sizobhala la ngezansi 91, 96, and then sikhuluma ngale increase of knowledge, and then bese sibona uJohn the Baptist eqala epreacher. Ngithi sikhulume ngoJohn lapha ya. uJohn uyaqala uyapreacher ke manje, right? And then bese ke iwaymark elandelayo ulowa 27 AD. Then ke sikhulume ngo-2001 ke la clear history. So far so good, right? So again, then masawuqala ke manje uqhubeka ke uza la from 2001. Remember sikhuluma ngehistory yama-priest manje. So sithi ke ayizufana ke from this point onwards, ngoba lama history ke are different, but la eqaleni ayafana, i-dispensation iqala ayafana, but from here umehluko ukhona because manje sizokhuluma, alright, sikhuluma ngehistory kaKristu kuqala. uKristu uzothi mebaptizwa, and then uKristu uzobe senzani? uKristu uzobe eseya in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights, la azofike khona azile ukudla, attemptwe uSathane. After esetemptiwe, izingilosi zizomnika something to eat, right? And then asifunde nje Desire of Ages, page 131, paragraph 2. Kuthiwa la, after the fool had departed, Jesus fell exhausted to the earth, with the pallor of death upon his face. The angels of heaven had watched the conflict, beholding their beloved, their loved commander, as he passed through inexpressible suffering to make a way of escape for us. He had endured the test greater than we shall ever be called to endure. The angels now ministered to the Son of God as he lay like one dying. He was strengthened with food, comforted with the message of his Father's love, and the assurance that all heaven triumphed in his victory. So, sithi ke after esekade elwile no devil, uzobe eseyaqiniswa ke manje kuthi uzonikeza ukudla. So sithi ke eating this food, we know ukuthi ke it represents this eating of the message according to Revelation 10, right? So Revelation 10 usitshela ukuthi sizofunda Revelation 10 because sibona same thing, this eating of the book. Verse 1, and I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as it was the sun, and his feet as the pillars of fire. And he had in his hand a little book opened, and he set his right foot upon the sea, and left foot upon the earth, and cried mightily. Okay, let's jump. See, I guess jump again. See, verse. Starting verse 4. And when the seven thunders had uttered their voice, I was about to write. Okay, sizwile ke lezo. Verse 9. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. So sithi ke naleli bhuku kuthiwa leli bhuku akalidle, lizoba mnandi ke molidla, but esiswini lizoba bitter. Ellen White absitshele ukuthi ke ukudla incwadi is accepting is this glad reception of the message, lento yokwamukela imessage ibe mnandi, angithi uyabona. But eswini iba bitter because masoyishumayela imessage, masoyidlile vele kufanele uyishumayele, and masoyishumayela akumnandi because bazokureject and bazofighta nawe ke manje. This is this bitter experience, siyabona. So anyway, sithi ke after ebaptiziwe uya in the wilderness 40 days 40 nights. After that simbona ke manje esenikezwa lokhu kudla esithi ke manje uKristu la use ready, use strong, izingine zimqinisile, and manje ke use ready, uyayazi message nemission yakhe njengamanje, right? Sikhuluma increase of knowledge. So mofika la, this is Cana. ekhana khona umshado, and then siyazi ukuthi kuzokwenzekana emshadweni. uKristu kuzophela iwine, uKristu ashintshe amanzi awenzeni iwine, right? So sithini manje? Sithi sekuyi-confirmation manje yokuthi ngempela uKristu is the Messiah, uyabona. So noma ngabe bo-doubt, but ngale power, this manifestation, this show of power, sekuyazi nawe ukuthi truly uMessiah lo. And so ke sithi yonto eyenzekayo ke lale. And so after that into esizoyibona ke manje eyenza ke sizobhala la 1TC. This is first temple cleansing. So first temple cleansing liya waymark ke manje, because mesuke ekhana uya tempelini, ila zofika money changers, the priest busy with commerce tempelini kaNkulunkulu, angithi uyabona, because sebeshintshile itemple laNkulunkulu, sebenzile business, they are selling stuff, doves, yonke into, it's a market. And so abese ba driver out kuyakhumbula ukuthi ke la ke manje he's showing himself ukuthi manje he is the new leader, he is the one taking over the temple njengamanje. This is what we see at the first temple cleansing. So sithi ke this is the first temple cleansing because mola the history kaKristu itemple will clean it twice, first in the beginning of his ministry, and then ekugcineni kwe ministry yakhe waphinde wenza same thing ayenze lapha, ephendula amatafula, ekhipha labantu etempelini. So we mark the first temple cleansing, right? Sibuye ke ngoba sithe sihamba in parallel ne-history to explain ngezansi ukuthi kwi-history yabapristi lezi zinto zihamba kanjani. So besithe 1981, 1989 is the time of the end kwi-history yabapristi yafana nale phezulu. Then 1991 esinaye increase of knowledge. Then 1996 this formalization kule dispensation yokuqala. Then bese sifika ku 2001. Remember sidiscussile ke lezi zinto 1989 sidiscussile extensively ukuthi this is a solid waymark. No 2009 sidilile naye extensively, and then ama waymark esothu kwathasha nje ulo 91 no 96 sizwe ukuthi kwenzekani kuona. But again siyaqhubeka ke nanga ama waymarks ayi2 ke manje futhi la. And so kwenzekani kulama waymarks? So ake sibone ukuthi sokwazi ukuwabhala la. Ispace is a problem. Sithe sino 2001 la, right? la this small waymark increase of knowledge sinobani manje sino 2009 lo again so establish lama waymarks and then kwenzekani la kule sinobani la sino 2012 right and then sibe nobani la this waymark then sino 2014 sino 2014 so this is waymark 2014 line up nani ne temple cleansing esikhathini sika Christ okay so nangama waymarks ake singahambi kakhulu nawo ake nje sizame nje to try to establish these waymarks ngezela nebhodi lingagcwali kakhulu sigcine singasaqondi kwenzekani so all we are doing into nje siyenzayo ama waymarks awu5 siyazi 1 2 3 4 5 and then bese uba nalama waymarks ayi2 in between right so kusho ukuthi ke nala uzoba nayo lama waymarks nala remember ukuthi lesa structure ebese studishile lesa mesikhuluma ngalama patterns siyakhumbula sikhulume ngalama patterns ukuthi between these two great waymarks there's these two waymarks in between versus this increase of knowledge and the formalization and the test besiqale futhi the pattern iqhubeke futhi these are repeating patterns right into besisho these are repeating patterns okay so into samukenza ukuthi nje sifuna uqala la 1989 2001 to 2014 so sizama ukuestablisha ke lama waymarks ukuze siwa understand ukuthi siwathola so this yenza ke sizokwenza kanje so sebenzisa leli body and then bese sizama ukudweba sibone ukuthi singawenza bemakhulu lama lines so sithe 4 BC 1989 then bese siba no 27 AD bese siba no 2001 bese siba no first temple cleansing and then bese siba no 2014 right sithatha nje lento sibuyisela la then sithe sinalama waymarks amancane ke right history kaKristu sikhulume nge-increase of knowledge but ibonakala kahle la uJohn la begins to preach angithi uyaqala uJohn la uya preach and then kuyethi history u91 u96 la bese uba nalo 2001 then bese ube nani la ube nalo 40 days 40 nights then after at the end of this 40 days 40 nights uKristu ke manje uzonikwa something to eat then to say ready ke manje angithi ukuthi aqale umsebenzi wakhe and then after that sibona marriage at Cana. Right, Tegila Tina, this is 2009. And then this is Siba no 2012. So iwona kama waymarks ethu-ke lawa esizozama manje ukwa-establish sibone ukuthi-ke siwatholaphi-ke. 1989 sidilile naye. 1991 okay, khona i-concept efuna sibe nayo-ke la, i-concept ekhuluma ngokuthi you have issues happening inside God's church. These are internal issues. This is the way God is leading us as God's people internally, phakathi endlini kaNkulunkulu, indlela asilida ngayo uNkulunkulu. And then abese baningi indlela asilida ngayo uNkulunkulu externally, using external events usalida futhi abantu baNkulunkulu. So uzinto ozoyithola ukuthi as kwenzeka something inside God's church, an event, but there is an event happening outside God's church externally. Because remember, when we are dealing with the institutions, uzobona ukuthi mesidila no Israel, lesibhalo Israel. Israel is a country, uyabona. So Israel is a nation, uyabona. And futhi Israel uyini futhi? Israel is a nation, right? And Israel aphinda abe yini futhi? Kuphinde kube khona a temple inside, or this worship system uNkulunkulu abanike yona ezosetshenziswa ukuzuza ama-nations, angithi uyabona. So ama-aspects ayithu afanele siwa-understand-ke la ukuthi we're dealing with Israel as a nation, also we're dealing with Israel as a church, angithi uyabona. So these are two concepts ekufanele siwa-understand when we deal with Israel. And so sithi-ke iBhayibheli, even i-structure seBhayibheli uzosithola ukuthi the whole Bible likhuluma ngobani? Ngo-Israel. So Israel as a nation, Israel as a church. So i-concept lefanele sibe nayo. But today siyazi ukuthi uNkulunkulu uraise the United States of America, right? So again uzobona-ke manje ukuthi we have to understand ukuthi United States as a nation, God is using this nation, uyabona. But kodwa inside this United Nations, United States of America, sorry, there's a church aspect in it. So this is where Seventh-day Adventist comes in, uyabona. Ukuthi God will raise Seventh-day Adventists inside this America, angithi uyabona. So God is gonna save the people using United States of America as a nation and as a church. So I think it clearly i-concept le efanele sibe familiar nayo ukuthi God is dealing with the events, ama-events enzeka externally, and so aphinde futhi adile nama-events enzeka internally inside God's church. So ifuna sibheke kanjalo leyanto, uyabona. Let's keep that in mind. And then this is why uzothi mawufunda the book of Revelation, Revelation chapter 2 and chapter 3. This is the Kuluma ngama 7 churches, angithi uyabona. So you have these 7 churches. Then also we are to Revelation 6. kukhulunywa ngani manje? Kukhulunywa ngama seals, 7 seals. So it's the same history, but their history it deals with nento eyenzekayo inside God's church, the message of God inside God's church, nazonke izinto ezenzeka lapho. But ama seals azodila nento ezokwenzeka nama external issues which are happening outside God's church, still asa affecta abantu baNkulunkulu, but izinto ezenzeka manje outside God's church. Siyabona, 7 seals, 7 churches. So ileya concept efuneka sigcineke ukuthi khona izinto ezenzeka externally and internally. Right. So manje siqaleke ake siye ku history yethu, because ya Christ sesi clear. 1991 kwenzekani? So ukuze understand ukuthi okay kwenzekani ngo-1991, into esizoyisho sothi, alright, I think content esalayo before singene kulezi zinto, because you will keep wondering ukuthi kwenzekani. Let's do this. Asikhumbuzane la. Sithe mesiqala lezi zifundo sakhuluma ngo-ancient Israel. Ancient Israel, I think ibalulekile lento ke esikhuluma manje, ukuze ungamangali ukuthi sikhuluma ngani lapha ya. So ancient Israel isithe une alpha history and the omega history. So history is the beginning, la beqala khona ngesikhathi bakhishwa phi la, ngesikhathi bekhishwa e-Egypt, usakhumbula ngithi. So bakhishwe e-Egypt la ngesandla sikabani? Ngesandla sika Moses, right? So but siyazi ukuthi umsebenzi uzoqedelwa ubani? uJoshua ngithi. So siyayazi le history, baku captivity basekuthunjweni, and then fika uMoses abese yabakhipha, and then bese ke kuba uJoshua. So Moses is this first messenger, and then bese uba ne second messenger ezoqedela lo msebenzi. So iyabonakala le, right? Mawufika history kaKristu ba in darkness, Ellen White uthi they are in spiritual darkness ama-Jews njengamanje, because bakwi-Pharisaic age manje sekurula leya nto ekuthiwa i-Pharisaism, yabona. And i-Pharisaism ihambisana nani? Kuthiwa i-hypocrisy, leya nto eyokuthi u-appear uvele engathi uyakholwa, yabona, kodwa kahle kahle uyenzi yonke le nto, you just showing off, yabo, ukuthi wena engathi uyayenza le nto kanti awuyenzi. And futhi basebumnyameni, because even nalo Messiah bamlindile abam-understand, because uMessiah bamlindile bona, balinde uMessiah ophethe isword ozofike avuse i-army, akha amasosha, abese kuyohlaselwa ama-Romans ukuze bakhululwe kwi-yoke kule joka lama-Roma ngithi, yabona. So i-hero le abayilindile, yabona, yabo, so i-judge like uSamson, yabona, ukuthi uNkulunkulu uzovusa leli judge lo Messiah, yabo, ozophahlaza abantu, yabona. So this is what they are looking at, what they are thinking mebenza zonke lezi. So this is darkness esisho. So manje kuzobe sekusetshenziswa uJohn the Baptist la. So uJohn the Baptist messenger yokuqala leya uza ke ne-increase of knowledge, and then sithi bese uJesu Kristu himself abesethatha le message useyimessenger yesibili, angithi uyabona. So abesezoqedela lo msebenzi, siyayibona liyana. So ke manje sithi ke this is the structure we see masidila no ancient Israel. So ibe sithi lento ake siye ke manje ku modern Israel. So modern Israel, we should expect the same thing, right? Because these histories are the same. Angithi nakhona la sithi ke alpha history of modern Israel kuzobonakala ba sizobona uMila. Angithi Miller is going to be used as this first messenger, William Miller lo, for 1798, angithi. So before la baku darkness, angithi, spiritual captivity lezi basesandleni sephepesi la basebumnyameni, they don't understand the scriptures. Iphepesi izithathile iscripture, angithi. So yize bephuma ke baqala baphuma kodwa bakaphuma basebumnyameni, Miller uzoqedela lo msebenzi, right? So sithi ke umuntu ozoqhubeka aqedele umsebenzi kaMiller, because uyakhumbula ukuthi kwaba khona disappointment, first great disappointment. uMiller after that bese ngasafuni lutho, angithi. And umuntu ozoqhamuka manje is Samuel Snow. Samuel Snow yena manje ozopredicta i-midnight cry message le besikhuluma ngayo, esikhuluma ngalama camp meetings awu-3, Boston ngo July 21, Concord August 1, Exeter August 15. These 3 camp meetings is predict to Christ manje ukuthi uyabuya nini ngo-1844 October 22nd. Le date yesibili abayitholayo ubani ophambili kulezi zinto? It is Samuel Snow, siyabona. So sithi these are the messages, or these are the messengers. So ke manje ithi ke liyanto si establishile ukuthi after 1863 is 10. Sithe after 1863 bazothini? Bazongena kwi darkness, angithi uyakhumbula. So bakusebumnyameni ke manje siyazi ukuthi uNkulunkulu ke manje wenza lo msebenzi ukukhulula ukukhipha ke manje ehlathini, angithi uyabona. 1989 qhamuka this increase of knowledge. So ke manje ithi ke liyanto le increase of knowledge meyiqhamuka izoqhamuka kanjani? Fanele iqhamuke nge-same way ngale ndlela ebeyiqhamuke ngayo la, angithi. And fanele iqhamuke nge-same way le ndlela ebeyiqhamuke ngayo la, same way. So uNkulunkulu usebenzisa abantu, angithi. So nala kuzofanele asebenzisile abantu. So ilento esiza kuyona ke manje ukuthi we have to be familiar with this ke manje, ukuthi uNkulunkulu la uzovusa umuntu ekuthiwa uJeff Pippinger. uJeff Pippinger ozosetshenziswa njengamanje. So uJeff Pippinger uye lo esikhuluma ngaye manje, first messenger kule history 1989. Umsebenzi wakhe yini? Ukuze sidlule nje la, you know ukuthi khona second messenger, but ngifuna nje siqale sikhulume ngoJeff Pippinger then bese siye kwi second messenger, because silandela these lines. Yiwa skydai asi ngicabanga kwethu nangokuhlakanipha kwethu lezi. We are just following these patterns, right? Right. So ithi ke manje sikuphike manje. Oh sorry. Sihleli sisebenzisa naku la sikhona. I think isabona because bengithi avoida leyanto yesiphithiphithi, but I think kusabonakala because into esishoyo la sithi ngo-1989 uNkulunkulu uzoraise uJeff Pippinger lo sikhuluma ngayo. Uye lo ozoqala bene understanding manje yalama truths enzekayo la. Again, ngitrebekile manje. I don't like this phithiphithi lesi. Ngifuna ukuthi kube khona kube clear la. So angizama ukuyisusa lento la. Ake sizame ukuyinyusa kancane kungabi clumsy. Right. Siphinde sibhale. Okay. Sithi right. Themba ukuthi kuyabonakala. Okay. Ake sithi ke 4 BC. Njengoba senzile increase of knowledge. Sithi John uyaqala preacher. This is sithi 27 AD. uKristu uyabhaptizwa. Sithi uKristu 40 days 40 nights in the wilderness, abuye bese sebuya sene message manje. And you say ready, and then uzoye ekhana. And then sithi first temple cleansing, right? Right. Zinjalo ke lezi zinto. Then sabe sesiza kule history yethu sithi 1989. Uyakhumbula ukuthi okay, let me not go ahead of myself. Sikhuluma ngo-1991. Sithi uJeff Pippinger uzosetshenziswa la. uJeff Pippinger uzonikezwa increase of knowledge yale history ukuthi kwenzekani la. Even lo 1989 esikhuluma ngayo, uJeff Pippinger uzonikezwa great light kuyo yonke lento esi-establishayo manje. Ngo-1991 uzonikezwa this message of line upon line. Yibona le message, this message of line upon line. So yonto yokuqala azoyinikezwa kuJeff Pippinger le ukuthi if you read the Bible kufanele ulifunde line upon line, ama histories line wenza be line and compare these histories. Let us read Isaiah chapter 28. So shukuthi Isaiah 28 it's one of the verses ilona verse elizoba key ekutheni understand this method, this methodology. Isaiah 26, right? So Isaiah 28. Isaiah 28 losigian. Mawufunda lapha uqala ku verse 9 khona umbuzo lapha after the prophecy engaphezulu. Uthi umbuzo, whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little, there a little. With stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to these people. So, singazange siye kuma details ukuzama to analyze into efundiswayo la ne context yakhona, but into esiyitholayo la kuthiwa izwi likaNkulunkulu lizoba precept upon precept. Ngamanye amazwi uthatha i-precept ethile or noma uthatha i-understanding ethile or i-principle ethile ubese uyibeke uyikhathanise nenye i-principle, yabo. Kusho ukuthi liyanto yokuthi mangabe ufunda izwi likaNkuluNkulu awuvele ufunde one verse bese ugijima nalo uyotshela abantu, yabo. So ufunda one verse to make sure ukuthi liqinisile lelizwi leli. You have to ukuthi uthole elinye izwi futhi eliconfirmayo lento, angithi uyabona. So kahle kahle le principle, i-principle yeBhayibheli lena it's the same principle le uma uzwa kukhulunywa ngokuthi lapha ake siye kwabaseKorinte besibili chapter 13. So uPaul uyayi-understanda le principle. So le principle, sorry, siku chapter 13, right? Uthini uPaul la? Verse 1. This is the third time I'm coming to you. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every word be established. So uthi Paul labazalwane sekwesithathu ngifika la kunina abese baquote iscripture ke ngofakazi ababili abathathu kuthiwa every word shall be established. So uyayazi ke lonto ukuthi umuntu ke akabulawa ngofakazi oyi1, but fanele kufike ufakazi ababili bafakaze, and then umuntu selingamlahla icala. Akhumbula uNaboth ukuthi uNaboth bamkhandela 2 sons of Belial, kwathiwa uzani nifakaze ngani nithi nimzwile ethuka uNkulunkulu naleli tempeli, uyabona. So may 1 akwazi ukuthi ungalahlwa icala, but maybe u2 then so ungalahlwa icala, because every word shall be established ngofakazi ababili. So sithi leyo principle or leyo precept or leyo concept, uyabo. So ke manje sithi ke Isaiah 28 sikhuluma ngoJeff Pipinja ke manje understand lento ukuthi this understanding manje eqhamukayo manje ethi kuthiwa la line upon line, angithi Isaiah 28 verse siku verse 10, for precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people, to whom he said, this is the rest wherewith you may cause the weary to rest, and this is the refreshing, yet they would not hear. But the word of the Lord was unto them precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little, there a little, that they might go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken. So unothi ukuthi even noNkulunkulu meletha izwi lakhe kuwena uletha precept upon precept, akunika imessage phezu kwenye imessage, izwi emva kwelinye ilizwi phezu kwelinye, yabona, uline phezu komunye uline, yabona. Even noma uzowonishwa ama-warnings kaNkulunkulu aqhamuka kanjalo, i-warning phezu kwenye i-warning, angithi uyabona. Kwenzelwana until uzube established to understand now ukuthi it is from the Lord. Angisakhumbula ukuthi uPharaoh utheme ephupha, Pharaoh Jeremiah Genesis chapter 41 I think. Mephupha uphuphe amaphupho azaba yi2. First uphupha uphuphani izikhwebu zombili ezi7 ezinye ezizacile ezihle ezinye, angithi yakhumbula. Aphinde ephupha izinkomo 7 ezizacile nezikhuluphele ezinye zihle ezinye, yabo. Bese kuthiwa because iphupho lifike kangaphi kuwe Pharaoh twice, it is because why the thing is established by the Lord, yabona. Genesis 41:32 Kuthiwani la, and for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by God, and God would shortly bring it to pass. Okay, so sithi-ke this repetition iqhamuka noNkulunkulu. So-ke sikhuluma-ke manje ngabazalwane be-understanda this message ngo-9/11, but it's kuzoba nini? Kuzoba u-1991 la ngempela bezo-understand ukuthi this message ba-understand nokuthi bayithole nini, angithi uyabona, 1989. So understand ukuthi sesinikiwe message manje. Seventh-day Adventist la is giving a message of line upon line, ekuwukuthi yona manje indlela esizofuthi mesifunda ngayo iBhayibheli manje siyisebenzise ukuze sikwazi to understand i-history esiphila kuyona, because siphila manje history yokubuya kwaKristu. So i-methodology ezosisebenzela, it is this line upon line methodology. So that was 1991, right? 1996 bazo understand manje. 1996 bazo understand the book of Daniel 11 verse 40. Sisengasho besithi 245, but asizothi verse 40 for now, but let's say 45, it's okay, because ama verses agcina lawa in the book of Daniel chapter 11 akhuluma mayelana nomsebenzi wokugcina before Christ abuye. So banikiwe-ke this slide kule ngo-1996, and sithini, angithi sithi this is a formalization, angithi sikhuluma nge-increase of knowledge, bese sizokhuluma nge-formalization, uyabona, formalization of the message. So 1996 the message is formalized. So may formalize this term. Sithe message manje, it is ready to test the people. Angithi sisho njalo. So if a message is ready to test the people, fanele manje ibe ngendlela yokuthi ibe i-package yokuthi anyone can understand it. So tesishoyo-ke manje sithi-ke ngo-1996 there is a magazine magazine. Onke lama messages abe unsealed since 1989 amayelana no Daniel 11 verse 40 to 45 aqalwe ile message of this methodology of line upon line. Sithi ase-establish manje, and batheme ese-establish bawathatha-ke manje bawufaka kwimagazini ibhuku leli okuwukuthi you can, if you ufuna understand manje le history, you can refer to this book to understand this message. Leli book kubizwa ngokuthi Time of the End magazine. Sibona ukuthi ungalibona yini, yilo leli. So this is the Time of the End magazine. It published ngo 1996, and it is dealing with Daniel 11 verse 40 to 45. So because yona message ke manje ebekade iba unsealed la, this increase of knowledge emayelana nokuthi understand ukuthi ngo-1989 there's a time of the end. So sonke lesi study sok understandisa ukuthi ngo-1989 there's a time of the end kule history yethu. Siyabona, very important. So sithi ke kunabazalwane ebese bezi understanda ke lezi zinto, kusukela la ngo-1989. So this is our time of the end. Meqalwa la si understand that this message of line upon line, this methodology ezosinika ukey, this because this is the key ezosinikeza ukey manje ukuthi si understand our history la, and is understand futhi ukuthi we have this time of the end. So history yethu iqala la ku-1989 mesitadisha uDaniel 11 verse 40 to 45. Sike sayithasha ke leyo nto in the beginning. Mawufuna ukuphinde uyizwe kahle, ngesikhathi kade sidevelopa lama waymarks u-1989 sikhulumile kakhulu Daniel 11 verse 40 mesikhuluma nge-history ye-king of the south, king of the north and the king of the south. So asizukhuluma ngazo la. Into esiyenza njengamanje established 1991 no-1996 la. So kusho ukuthi manje this message right now it is formalized, right? So it is formalized. So kusho ukuthi ke ngo-2001 so expecteke ukuthi you can understand ukuthi kuzokwenzekani la, because remember ukuthi sithe kwenzekani ngo-2001 kukhulunywa ngama-Twin Towers. Uyakhumbula besikhuluma ngo-Islam, right? Besikhuluma ngo-Islam ngesikhathi Osama bin Laden ebomba ama-towers eNew York, right? Sathi leya event leya it's a third war, and sithe event leya sithe 2001 is a second waymark ngoba yokuqala iwaymark ku-1989, yesibili 2001, and kuze sithole to 2001 besebenzisa i-history yama-Millerite. Uyakhumbula ukuthi kuye kwafanele siyobheka i-history yama-Millerite. Sakhuluma ngo-1798, right? Time of the end yama-Millerite. Sakhuluma ngo-1840 i-waymark yesibili, la besikhuluma khona ngokuthi khona i-prediction ebebeyi-predicta laphaya ngithi ukuthi this Ottoman Empire is gonna fall. Angithi khona this Ottoman Empire ozowa laphaya. These 4 angels were restrained. Angithi lama angels abekade ekhululiwe. Besikhuluma ngo-Revelation chapter 9. So you can go back to, I think, number 3, lecture number 3 and number 4. Ozobe dealer na lama issues. So asizudila now. But the point li ukuthi ukuze size understand Daniel understand the waymark 2009, 2001 kwi-history yethu, kuye kwafanele senze njani? Siye kwi-history yama-Millerite, yabona? So eyibile method esiyisebenzisayo, it's a line upon line methodology, because you are trying to understand histories using line upon line methodology, comparing history nenye history, angithi yabo. So sithi ke manje le message manje la seyivuthiwe ngale ndlela yokuthi manje when you were supposed to understand ukuthi ngo-2001 kwenzekani, because the message sesinayo ama-lines siyawa understanda. So people were tested again. Kusazoconfirma ukuthi this line upon line methodology, it is from the Lord, and it is sound, it's bulletproof, and it is here to stay. So ama-Adventists abe expecteke ukuthi la kule history I understand these things, because ama messages ashunyayeliwe kwi-Seventh-day Adventists, siyabona. And people decided ukuthi bafuna ukuba ngalaphi kulama messages. Ungaboni nje sesikhuluma ngayo manje i-history sasingekho, uyabona. But kodwa bakhona abantu abebekhona, and these messages awenza umsebenzi wawo. So sithi ke this line upon line message 1991, they were given this line upon line message, or this understanding of this line upon line message ukuthi baya understand ukuthi there is a methodology ekufanele isetshenziswe manje to understand our history. And then after that izobe seyiyahlangana le message seyiqhamuka ke manje no Daniel 11 verse 40 futhi manje sesi-understanda ngempela even our time of the end nokuthi sinikiwe ngempela i-message. And yonke lento manje to understand it bayihlanganisa bayenza i-magazine. So this magazine is in 1996 khishwa le magazine ezo-explainela uDaniel 11 verse 40 to 45 ukuze understand ukuthi kwenzekani la. So all you needed to do ukuthiustudishe le magazine understand yonke le history ukuthi kwenzekani, and then izokwenza leyo nto ube ready manje to prepare for amanye ama messages aqhamukayo like 2001 like esikhuluma ngayo manje 2001 masa testwa la buzo yamkela, but many zange le event by understand ukuthi isho ukuthini, and abanye futhi ba rejecta futhi ukuthi it's a waymark. Abanye abazi nanokuthi khona ama waymarks, abanye abazi nanokuthi khona ama truths are revealed since 1989. Abanye abazi nanokuthi 1989 is the time of the end of our history. So if you select lama messages man, then you in darkness. Siyabona? So just like history in Christ ukuthi kukhona ozelwe ngo4 BC. So njengoba message ikhula, if awuzange understand lezi zinto from the beginning, if futhi awuzange futhi believe futhi uJohn ngesikhathi eshumayela ukuthi ngempela uKristu uyabuya and ukuthi futhi khona ozayo futhi and futhi lo ozayo ungcono kunami, angithi usho njalo, angifanele ngisho nokuphatha izinyawo zakhe. So angempela afike ngo27 AD yabaptize. So if awumamukela nguJohn vele ngeke uzumamukela uKristu mase baptize. Amayamazi if awuzange uyamukele le message ya Daniel 11 verse 40 ekhuluma ngalabo line upon line message, this methodology esiyisebenzisayo manje, vele ukho in a position to understand these messages as they come. Nango 2001 awuzoyi understand yonke lonto. You will fail ukubona ukuthi ngo2001 there's a major event happening. Siyabona? Right. So I think konke ezwakalayo kulento esishoyo angifuni ukuqhubeka kakhulu. Sizophinda futhi sizame ukuthi siloke siyincenga kancane le history yethu. But before ngivale bengithe lento esikhuluma ngayo yenzeka internally. Manje there's an event which is happening externally. Siyabona? So ama events amanye yenzeka externally to confirm ukuthi lama waymarks 1991 1996 ngempela these are waymarks. So kwenzekani 2000 start la 1989 kwenzekani? Sithe ngo1989 there's a war between the king of the south and the king of the north. King of the north ubani? Sizothi njengamanje is the papacy. Ize kukhona i-transition from i-papacy to United States of America. But to keep it simple, sikhuluma nge-papacy, king of the north. King of the south uba, it is Russia or it is USSR, right? So it is USSR. We are closing njengamanje. So you have the papacy and then you have USSR. It to bani 1989, right? Sikhuluma ngo Daniel 11 verse 40, by the way. Read this, study this in context in Daniel 11 verse 40. Lo besikhuluma ngayo. Sasithe ngo 1798 the king of the south, the king of the north ubani is the papacy again. And the king of the south Satubani, it is France. And it's Ashonda. So mawufunda iverse lithi the king of the south shall push at him. King of the south is France, will push at him, the papacy, was 1798. 1798 siyazi ukuthi uNapoleon wathume i-general yakhe uBerthier ukuthi mayo invade Italy. Nangempela bangena eVatican bambamba Pope Pius VI, and then bamthumele exile, and then bamsusa ethronini. Yaphela iPope, yaphela ipapacy, yaphela ithrone yepapacy ngaleso sikhathi. And then wafa noPope ngo-1799 later in exile. So that was verse part A of verse 40 yabo. So lela verse liqhubeka lithi, and the king of the north shall come against him like a whirlwind with chariots and ships, with horsemen and chariot and many ships. So ithini manje sathi ke manje later sithe ama-principles ale rule France, atheism, these principles that were ruling in France azomova manje aye Russia or USSR ngesikhathi kuqale i-Russian Revolution 1917, right? Leya revolution ekuthiwa i-Bolshevik revolution. So we see these principles manje moving from France, and ukhumbule France bekhona i-revolution, French Revolution, ngithi tracing France from 1980s to 1990s, 1994, 1780s to 1790s. So the French Revolution there, and then 1917 qala manje this Bolshevik revolution. Same principles abe operator France asemuva manje ayapi aya era USSR, Union Soviet Socialist Republic, right? So city njengamanje in 1989, by the time you get to 1989, abantu manje abayi king of the south, it is USSR in the land. But bengafuni ukuthi ngiqhubeke kakhulu kodwa asisigqibezele. So sithi ke manje when you get to 1989, the king of the north is the papacy, the king of the south is USSR, yabona. So siyazi ukuthi Russia will be defeated in 1989. So remember la kula sikhona sikuleli point. So kwenzekani ngo-1989 USSR is defeated by the papacy. I-papacy iphetheni horsemen, chariots. So what is that? Stay military power there. And then bese khulunywa ngani ngama ships, many ships, imikhumbi leyo. Stay in there. This is economic power, or lama sanctions abazowasebenzisa manje United Nations together with the papacy to defeat USSR using sanctions and military power. Mesikhuluma nge-Cold War in the 1980s. So remember ukuthi umtheme kufa uHitler ngo-1945 kwaphela i-Second World War, right? After that i-superpowers zosala uba USSR, because bekulwa phela uStalin ne-Germany uHitler. So wafa uHitler phela anqotshwa ama-Germans kwasala i-USSR. So USSR 1945 is becoming this superpower, and umhlaba manje is threatened by this. This is why papacy ke manje is going to work together in the United States to put an end to USSR ngo-1989, right? So sibona leyo nto ke yaba defeated ke USSR ngo-1989, but it was until 1991 la izoba defeated officially. So ngo-1989 kwenzekani? 1989 sibona kuwa udonga, khona udonga ekuthiwa i-Berlin Wall, right? So it's a Berlin Wall. It's a Berlin Wall abel-divide i-Germany, bone West and East Germany. So lolu donga belihlukanisile abantu. So lolu donga singayanga into details, but luyi-symbol yokuthi USSR is in power because lwakhiwe yibo to separate the people. So eGermany khona abantu base-Germany abazithola sebengale kodonga ngenxa yokuthi kwakhiwe lolu donga oluba-separateayo. So bazithola sebese ku-territory yase-Russia berulwa i-Soviet Union, angithi uyabona. So now sithi ngo-1989 kuzowa lolu donga, Berlin Wall, oluyisymbol lokuthi mekuwa lolu donga kusho ukuthi USSR vele seyiphelelwa amandla, isenapower, yabo. And so sithi-ke 1989, this is why sithi ngo-1989 is the end of the USSR, but abazukuwa until 1991. First, it's a deadly wound. Sorry, isothini le nto? First is this defeat, right? And then bese kuba, okay, it's a deadly wound, and then bese kuba death. So kale kube khona deadly wound, and then bese kuba khona death. Siyithatha le nto because angithi sithe ngesikhathi iPope ibanjwa ngo-1798, right? Angithi sisho njalo 1798. First, there's going to be a deadly wound. Angithi prophecy isho njalo. There's this deadly wound, and we note this deadly wound was 1798, right? Deadly wound, it is to do ne-Pope ngesikhathi isuswe etroneni yayo by uBerthier, this general ka-Napoleon in this Italian war, angithi ngo-1798. So asuswe etronini, but sithe uzobe se afa ufanini, sithe bazomthatha bamuse exile, right? Atme exile afe nini ngo-1799. So sithi ukufa kwa-Pope ngo-1799, a year later, symbolize ke manje the complete death, yabona, yale power. So sithi again manje, because this is the time of the end of the Millerites, we are dealing with the time of the end of our history, right? If a king of the south ifanayo izofa the same way iPope efangayo. First there's a deadly wound, and then later there's what? There's this death. So this is why USSR now we wanna ifa into these two stages. First is a deadly wound, 1991, it's a death. So this is history. USSR lost all its power in 1991. That's all we are saying. So this is this external history oyibona yenzeka la ngesikhathi ubona abantwana baNkulunkulu benikezwe message inside God's church, benikezwa this line upon line message, right? So sithi ke manje later ngo-1996 tozoyithola ke manje uzothola ama-Russians enzani. This is the first attack, or this first cyber attack. Ama-Russians attacker United States of America. So le attack ibizwa, this is a cyber attack. Masithi cyber attacks sikhuluma nge technology, manje sikhuluma nge information war, or sikhuluma nge attack using computers, using internet, because iyona ndlela manje kuliwa ngayo. Sisazoyidiscussa lonto because we are living in a new age. This is an information age. So even nama warfares uzobona manje ukuthi it's not just tanks and guns and no, but it's also about information war. It's also about these cyber attacks, these attacks online, internet. So yaliwa manje nge-internet, uyabona. So sithi ke this cyber attack was in 1996 by the Russians. The cyber attack ibizwa ngokuthi yini? Ake siyibheke la, and then bese siyavala. Kukhulunywa la ngokuthi alright, this cyber attack ibizwa ngokuthi i-Moonlight Maze. So this is Moonlight Maze. Moonlight Maze. So this is this cyber attack. All we are doing, is to identify ukuthi ngesikhathi uNkulunkulu esebenza something inside God's church, kukhona ezinye izinto futhi ezenzekayo outside God's church. And so sithi ngo-1996 njengoba ubona kwakhiwa this Time of the End magazine ebesikhulunywa ngayo, message is formalized now to test the people ngo-2001. So sithi sibona futhi khona event ekhona eyenzekayo outside. It is to do the King of the North and the King of the South, Russia, attacking America using internet. And then ibizwa ngokuthi lo attack Moonlight Maze. You can Google this and find out what is this, what is it about Moonlight Maze. So sizophela la singayanga into details kakhulu. So iloko nje besizama ukuveza, we are trying to show these waymarks. I know ukuthi sometimes iba complicated lento esikhuluma ngayo, but kuwise ukuthi you can, especially la ngasekugcineni, you can rewind uqale phansi just to listen carefully ukuthi sikhuluma ngani la, because I think it's very interesting and it is very profound lento esikhuluma njengamanje. So sizozeka izinto zilenga kanjalo besa establish futhi again these two messengers, and now we're gonna have to have two messengers. Besakhuluma ngomsebenzi wokuqala owenziwe first messenger kule history yethu singakayi komunye umsebenzi olandelayo. So these histories are following these patterns, and so this is what we have. Ngicabanga ukuthi singamala because of time, so phinde siqhubeke ngokuzayo. God bless.